just and they know I ain't dealing with the drama. So you know, go. He got the rock to me, it's go. Niggas try to block me.
Fuck it, start over. We can do it. Let's just, if it's 4 hours,
All right.
let's do it. Yeah.
What time? 9 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah, if I gotta come back for another segment, I'll come back.
Okay,
I'll
because
come back.
I want to. You're the bachelor now, huh? Wait, I'm the bachelor.
You're the bachelor. I'm not. Shit.
Yeah, wow.
Hell yeah. Look, I'm bogged down now.
Do you like it that way?
I ain't gonna lie, I do. It's been a long time coming, man. Like I can honestly say I found the person that literally compliments me, and she allows me to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to change for her. Like I don't have to be somebody that I'm not. I can be myself, and she can be herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was real when we can finish each other's sentences and shit. Like she knows what the fuck I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna know what she's gonna say. Her favorite thing is, try to quit act like you know my life. I'm like, I know your life, no go.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, man, I wouldn't trade her in for nothing, man. That's my chick. Yep.
You know, I must admit, I'm afraid. I'm 100% afraid. I'm like,
you got every right to be, because honestly, for real, prior to me meeting my girlfriend,
mm-hmm.
I was single for a minute, man. And then I got to the point I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna stop looking for a relationship, stop looking for a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen when the fuck it's supposed to happen, because I feel like if you go looking for it, you're gonna run into something that you don't want. And I done ran into that so many times. It's just like, it had got to the point my damn siblings were worried for me. Because I was in every time. And then my sister, I call her the governor of where we're from, because she always knew about shit before I even told her. So if I was in a bad relationship, she fucking knew it before I even fucking knew it.
Oh.
And she would be quiet. She like, I knew it before you even told me. So it was just like, with my girlfriend now, like, everybody in my family loves her. And for my brother and my sister and my mother to say that they love her and they like her, that speaks volumes right there. So that let me know that I hit a home run. The one thing my mom told me, don't fuck this one up. I'm like, God damn, mother.
See,
but she says that because I probably had 4 good women in my life. And the 3 before, I fucked up because I let other influences make me do stupid shit. So with this one, they always say, and my brother told me, and my brother's a younger brother, and it's so funny because he looks up to me, but I look up to him as well. My younger brother, yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, and honestly, like my brother, I love that my brother is a family man and he's into his kids and he's devoted to his kids. Same thing with my sister, because both of them broke the generational curse.
Ooh.
Because yes, so we grew up. Our background was different.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and sister wound up. They lived with my mom. I lived with my grandma. But we were only 5 minutes apart. Okay. But I still managed to see them every day. But we still grew up differently.
Okay.
Like, they grew up more so. How do I explain this? I feel like I was more sheltered than what they were. Ooh. They had more street sense and in tune to how fucked up people were more so than me. Being that I was sheltered because everybody that helped me, that raised me, sheltered me and protected me from a lot of shit, which I felt like it wound up hurting me in the long run. Yeah. And it helped me. So that's one of the things that I guess you should never be envious of your siblings, but that's one of the traits of my siblings that I wish that I had, because believe it or not, I actually have, there's 4 of us. So I have a younger brother, but I always felt like, out of the siblings, if there was a weak link, it was me, because of how naive I was to a lot of shit. and they were more like they had more street sense and common sense than what I did. But I felt like, but this is just my interpretation. But I just felt like by me being sheltered by everybody else that raised me, I think that hindered me in the long run. If that makes sense, even though I was still successful. This, like I said, is my thoughts. But I still feel like, you know, I went to college and everything like that. But I still never had that sense to pick. I gave people too much benefit of the doubt. Like, I always tried to see the good in people where that my siblings could read right through people. Like, just like when we're talking about relationships. My brother and my sister, they could see through a motherfucker quick. Like, if they knew they wasn't right for me, they would tell me. But I would never, of course, being young and stupid, you never listen to them. And just like with anybody, like, people, you can be your friends, family, whoever. They could say somebody was bad for you, but you're not going to listen. But in reality, you know they're bad for you. But it's just one of those scenarios that you don't want to think it, but you know it. But you thinking that the individual or whatnot is going to change, and they don't. And they wind up, you know, fucking you over and shit. Because I've been in a lot of situations where I just turned the feeling of emotion off. But that I've also been in situations where I gave my all to the wrong fucking person. And oh yeah, you talking about a fucking dagger in the heart. Like, that shit is fucking deep, man. And then, you know, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a little fucked up right now, so
Yeah,
we can have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because like you know, I felt like, me personally, right? You know, I kind of sheltered my relationships in the past from my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and like.
Now, let me ask that question. Why did you shelter it? Like, what was your reasoning behind sheltering it from your family?
Because I felt like they knew the stories about me that I did not want to share with the world.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. And that's why like, some of the relationships that I was in, I kept it from them because they knew the truth. And I didn't want to know the truth. I didn't want to know the harsh realities of it. So that's why I opted to keep that shit away from them. But they still found out about it.
See, you know what? And like, let me use my last relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt like my last relationship was the most important relationship I put above anything else. You know what I mean? And like, you know, there's times where a woman can destroy you.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but that thing that's in between their legs, I'm just gonna say that's more powerful than a fucking nuclear weapon.
Woo.
They can talk. Anybody can talk. That thing in the middle will. Men are in the grave till this day because of that. Hell, I almost got killed because of that shit.
Sure.
I don't tell too many people that, but I almost got killed because of that shit. And that's honestly, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me moving to Pennsylvania. Because when I was still living in Virginia, like I said, I did some shit I shouldn't have done. We ain't gotta even talk about it. But let's just say someone was stalking me every day. And they were looking to fuck me up bad and not take my life. So then this opportunity came in Pennsylvania, and then that was my wake-up call and say, okay, I need to get the fuck away. But like Jay-Z said it best, the power of the P-U-S-S-Y. You know, keep a nigga stay fly, but also, I mean, it'll fuck them up, you know.
You know, and like, I tell people all the time, like, you know, like, you know, my last relationship was my best relationship.
Yeah.
And I felt like we ended on good terms. You know what I mean? Even though whatever, because she gave me the last element that I need to be a good dude. You know what I mean? As far as like stay in the house, you don't have to. You don't have to rip and run this shit like that. And you know, it made me respect the image of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not going to let you talk bad about my household. You know what I mean? Right. And, like, hands down, at the time, I felt like she was the catch. So, like, you know, all this shit you see right here is because of her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though we're, like, separated, and I'm happy we're separated, you know what I'm saying? I don't got the power. Yeah. And nor do I want the power to entertain it, to go back. You know what I'm saying? I look at my last relationship as the most successful relationship because she brought out the thing in me. Because like, I believe that, like, it's a free spirited world, right? You know what I mean? And when you find somebody that what's the word I'm saying? Is cold hearted, and you melt down those walls. You know what I mean? You melt them down. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say cold hearted. I would say you could even say someone who has their walls up because you know once a woman's been hurt, boy, I tell you, they put layers and layers of bricks up. Like it's hard to break them down. So
and like with this one, right? I used her as a shield to stay away from the thotties. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I use that, like you know what I mean? Like yo, and I use that as a shield to say, hey, I gotta represent a positive black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, when you say use it as a shield, like, did you want to use? Did you mean to use that shield in a good way, or are you using that shield saying, okay, I have a good woman now, like this, I need to do right by her. So, like you said, as you quote the thoughts,
Yeah.
am I using her just to keep me away from them to save myself, or am I doing it just to, knowing that I have someone good, and then I know that those ones out in the streets aren't good for me, and I know that I have something good here.
A combination of both.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I felt like and this is where that famous verse by Kanye, and you stay down, girl, and when he gets on, he leaves your ass for a white girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You remember that verse?
Uh-huh.
I felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I mean? But not to that extreme. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that's extreme because people love who they love. But I felt like the things I did not have. You know what I mean? The reason why I couldn't grow in these areas is because I was entertaining so much. What's the word I'm looking for? Free spirit. You know what I mean? Women, and I treasure that. You know what I mean? I love the free. I'm single now. I love the free spirited woman. You know what I mean?
Now, okay, call me naive, right?
Okay.
But like, what's your definition of free spirit? Because I remember talking to this one girl one time, and she told me she was free spirited. So, what's your take? What's Frank's definition of free spirit?
Okay.
Because if I'm thinking free, like my definition, I'm thinking free spirit. Okay, she wants to do what she wants to do, come and please. Like she wants to sleep with whoever, whether it be man or woman.
Okay.
Like she just she doesn't want nobody that's gonna lock them the fuck down and say that you can't do this and can't do that. That's just Kelvin's definition of free spirit. What's Frank's definition? Like, what's your interpretation?
Now, because like we Frank was able to level up. You know what I'm saying? He was able to level up a couple notches. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this right because I don't want to. I don't want my tires flat. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a great question. Me at my life right now, I can only judge it right now. If a woman says she's free spirited, right? I look at her as nothing more than a good time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So just
I don't care about nothing else.
Right.
Besides, hey, when she comes here, or I come over to her, or we just decide to go to Baltimore or DC or something like that. I look at her nothing more than a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing more. No, nothing long term. Just y'all get up when y'all get up. When y'all get up, y'all have a good time.
And I hold her accountable. You know what I mean? Because when I didn't learn. I had to learn. When you're being single. You know what I mean? And you're fresh out of a relationship. You give women benefit of the doubt, relationship privileges, that you're not supposed to give to. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. Like when you talk about that, like with free spirit, and I've been a huge. My homeboy used to tell me all the time, like I would deal with these type girls that you could say free spirit and whatnot. He will always tell me, you treat these girls like you say you want to be single, you just want to have fun, but you do relationship type tendencies to make them think that you want to tie them down and stuff in a relationship. So you got to when you doing that, you got to make sure you don't do that relationship type shit. You got to leave it exactly like the fuck it is.
In the beginning,
a free spirit means free, good time, free time, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and just leave it at that. Like nothing in between.
In the beginning, you know what I mean? I was guilty because I must admit I fucked up because I was like I'm fresh out of a relationship. So I was like, you know what I mean? Like, in the beginning when you're fresh out of a relationship, you do things that you normally want to do. You know what I mean?
Because you want to, you had that feeling of hate. You had that feeling of wanting to get back at them. And you have that feeling of, you want to forget about them. And like you don't give yourself like that time that you need to actually, I guess you can call it going through a grieving process, getting over that individual and things like that. So you in a sense, you do some reckless shit. Like you try to get back out there, but at the same time too, it's funny, man, because you realize shit the older you get. So when you do shit like that, like you have to think about every consequence possible. Like, okay, by me doing this, let's just say I'm a week out of a relationship. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just start back fucking chicks or whatever, right? You don't think about the chick that you're actually getting involved with, like how they would feel, let's just say if it was a good woman or whatnot, like you don't want them to feel disrespected by you.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's almost like it's a rebound type scenario, right? You don't want them to feel like they're a rebound. You don't want them to feel like they're anything less of what they expect themselves or what their standards are. So by you doing that, you make them feel like you devalue them. But I guess my question is, do you devalue yourself when you put yourself out there like that too?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, right? You ready? So I met this, like, in my free spirited mode, because I'm free spirited now. You know what I mean? That's why she gave you that story. You know what I mean?
I got it. Okay,
I'm having a
free spirit.
I'm having a ball right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? As you should, but continue.
You know what I'm saying? So like, with that, it's like, I want to say this right without hurting them. I met one person, right, that I was like, oh shit, I had to run from. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Because the reason of my breakup was the reason, like, you know what I mean? The reason is because I wanted to become this image, you know what I mean? And, we could go to trauma bonds later and shit like that. Yeah. And we could go to, hey, I chose to put you in a situation better than what you was in first. And then when it came time to invest, I don't want to go into all that, but we can. You know what I'm saying? And like now, it's just like, can you just be cool?
Yeah.
Don't, when you come over here, it's like, you took the tour, it's a lot of shit to do over here.
Yeah, it's a bachelor pad. Let me not say bachelor pad. I'm going to rewind. Yeah. I'm going to rewind, everybody, and say, yeah, it's a cool, chill spot.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Like, we're having fun. You know what I'm saying?
We're having fun. Yeah.
You know
Look, this is a long time in the coming. A long time in the making.
But like I would call but like I met one person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I met two people. And one was through social media, and one was through actual person to person. And at that time, I was like, yo, I was scared. You know what I mean? Because like I do believe in love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do believe when I give my love, I lose myself. You know what I mean? So and I tell women all the time, I'm not ready to love because I'm not ready to lose myself because I want to grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I speak on my past relationship, I say I was still able to grow. You know what I mean? While working on myself. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this right without sounding like a player.
Just say the shit, Frank. I always tell you, just say the shit. Just fucking say it.
Like I said, one person where I was like, oh shit, I would marry this chick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
And I was not there ready. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I was like dead serious, like, yo, you know what, man? You don't got too many kids, you know what I mean? You got a work ethic, you're trying to be something, you're trying to prove something to somebody, but you're not, whatever. So one thing I hate about people, right, is that they women bash to the level of why they don't get no pussy. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. You know what I mean? We're the brothers with the money, and we got we're 6 feet, we're chocolate, we're all this other shit. So we passed the stereotype, and like, oh shit, you got one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I met one, and I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? And I had to explain it to her. Like, yo, listen, at this point in my life, where I'm going and where I'm trying to be, I wish, can you give me like the 6-month thing and shit like that? And she wasn't ready. She wasn't having that, and I respect it. You know what I mean? So we had to let it go. So when I say I like free spirited chicks now, you know what I mean? It's no strings attached.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to know, like, if you come over here, I'll come over to you. It's like, yo, I don't promote drug activity, so I'm coming with bottles, be 20 something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'll be like, yo, hey, are you off today? Yeah, I'm off today. Are you off tomorrow? Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Okay, I'm coming. I'm buying the bottles. We're coming up. Or you come down here. Which I don't really like it down here, even though it's nice. It's like the bachelor's pad or whatever you want to call that shit. But like, I really, because I feel like it's hard for me to like say, hey, I'm not ready.
But it shouldn't be hard for you to say you're not ready, because if you're not ready, you're not ready. Because if you don't, I feel like if you're going to be involved with somebody, whether it's just you can say friends with benefits type thing, or even a relationship aspect, it's those boundaries that have to be set. And I think that's where, sometimes where relationships go down, because boundaries aren't set with what a person likes, what they don't like. Like, here's my limitations to what I'll do and what I won't do. But I feel like in a situation that you were talking about, I feel like if you establish those boundaries from the gate, then it's up to that person to decipher whether they want to continue to deal with the scenario, or they like the boundaries, or they respect the boundaries that you set.
But
can we
be real, bro?
Not.
Let's be real. Okay, let's just say if I tell a woman right now, she gonna be like, she comes over. You know what I mean? Fuck it, we go out to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Build on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we can do that. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, it leads to here. You know what I mean? Not the hotel. Not meet at the hotel first, but like
Right.
We done went through all that. You know what I'm saying? And she comes here, right? What's she gonna think? Like, yo,
well,
hey,
you know what I'm saying? Because
like
I'm
not saying this,
especially of our age. I feel like, especially if you have dinner, then you're coming back to the house. You're not just coming back just to have conversation and whatnot.
But see, that's the part that, like, you know what?
But
me personally, like, I am.
But the average
because
Joe,
like,
average Joe wouldn't think that.
Because
that's what
like,
I'm saying.
Like, it's sad, but it's true. But like, I already got my chambers. The ones that I can just call and be like, yo, I know you miss me because I miss you. You know what I'm saying? I got my ones in the chambers. I'm gonna just be real. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, you could be sending false signals too by you doing that. By you inviting that person over, in her mind, she was like, okay, he wants to go to the next level. Because you think about it, let's just say, no, Frank, listen to me. Let's just say, because I was always told nothing good happens after 11 p.m. So
the best shit happens.
I had heard nothing good.
Oh.
But let's just say y'all are out to dinner. Let's just say, what's that restaurant? The restaurant right across the street.
Okay. Look, and that's what I'm saying. It's like a hookup. Bang, bang.
Y'all
like
are right across the street at that restaurant. I told you, I've been there before, and that's a good spot. Let's just say y'all just got lost in conversation. Y'all are just hitting it off. Like, y'all, the chemistry is just there. And then, let's just say 3 hours have passed by. And they're 11 o'clock. They say, okay, y'all got to go. It's closing time. She doesn't want to go home. And you say, well, do you want to just come over to my place and, we talk a little bit more? And, she's going to be like, sure. But also at the back of her mind, too, she was like, oh, shit. He wanted to take it to the next level. Because I'm like this. If I'm not thinking, if my hormones ain't kicking, because very rare, don't get me wrong, some people have very self-control. You could be that one that have self-control.
No, I don't.
No, well, okay. Then you already answer your own question. Like, if you're going to invite somebody over, Frank, especially a female, she's already going to have in her mind, okay, he wants to get intimate. We're going to do this.
But, like, me being real, okay, and my situation, right? You know what I mean? Like you said, it's a bachelor's pad, whatever. But it's not. But it can. I could see how people could perceive that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, you think that, like, because I don't trust women. You know what I'm saying? If you think that, like, and anybody's gonna come over here. Anybody's gonna come over here, and they have the right to leave with their coochie intact and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You think there's not one in the chamber? Like, you know what I mean? You think there's not somebody that we're old, so we already got our friends with benefits.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we already got the if you're single,
right?
You know what I mean. And if you're single and you don't got nobody in your chamber that you can call,
right.
You know what I mean. At least one person. You should have.
Yeah. If you ain't got at least one person, something's wrong with
you.
Yeah.
So if you don't, you know what I mean. I feel like if you don't got those people in your chamber, you know what I mean. And and this goes to standard too, because I feel like like if I was to meet somebody and say, hey, you know what, let's get to know each other on a personal level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving up what I got in the chamber. That's your job to make me want to give it up. You know what I'm saying? It's my personal standard. It doesn't sound fair.
But no, because it's all about in what you want. Because like you said, like, let's just say in the dating world or whatnot, right? Like, in your mind what you want in a woman and what you consider someone who you would want to be with long term or whatever, right? So it's one of those scenarios, like you said, if you got the one, like you quote unquote say, the one in the chamber, and then you have this one that you're kicking it with, it's just like, prove to me that you have more to offer than I can say the one in the chamber. Like, prove to me that you can be, let's just say, that freak in the bed, that the one in the chamber, the shit that you like, but also prove to me that you can be that woman to be there to support me, be supportive of me. Don't bash me. Don't man bash me and try to break me down. So, nigga, you ain't shit. You ain't this. You ain't that. Be that person that you can show me.
At our level, can they really say that? And you're on a higher level than me.
But
like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, on our level, you know what I mean? Can you really say that?
I've seen them do it.
But, like,
they've done it.
But it goes in one ear and out the other. Because, like, let's just say.
Well, if they bring it to me like that, I'm like, fuck you. Get the fuck out.
Okay.
The older I've gotten, because like I said, I did some dumb shit in my 20s, my late teens, my 20s. I did stupid shit all through my fucking 20s. My 30s, honestly, for real, I probably didn't start turning it around, honestly, till I was about 35. But like you said, with that type shit, they can't tell me shit now, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, I had this one... This one that was like, I call her the women's rights activist because she was all about women's rights and all this bullshit, but never did shit to support it. She always talked about it, but never did shit to support the cause. So, you know, I can remember us getting into arguments and shit, and then, you know, she talking about, you know, I wasn't shit, I wasn't this, and I wasn't that. And I'm just like, I'm listening. I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't fucking need you. Because, you know, I think sometimes they get that mindset that they think that you need them. And I fucking don't. And that's the one thing that I can say that my grandma and my aunt and my uncle, I can say my Uncle G Money, they always raised me to be self-sufficient. And my aunt always told me. I remember one day I was like 12 years old and I was cleaning up the house. And she was like, I'm going to teach you how to do everything, cook, clean, do everything by yourself. And you won't need a woman for nothing but sex. I didn't, at 12 years old, you're like, God damn. Okay, why is she telling me that? But I never thought like that, but I understand why she told me that. In the event that a woman would come to me and say that you ain't shit without me or you can't do nothing without me, that I could counter them like, bye. I don't fucking need you. But, like I said, I still fucked up because there were times I let women, you know, fuck with my thinking and my processing. It's all like you said. When you love somebody, it could cloud all your fucking judgment. I mean, it could be just like you're flying through an airplane. You know how you go through the clouds and you can't see a motherfucking thing? They got me to that point. Like, I remember this one girl when I was 24. The worst relationship ever. I got this because of her. But it was just a bad scenario. And I let her come between me and my brother. And my brother never forgave me, and I never forgave myself. And I said at that moment, and she did the verbal abuse thing, said I wasn't shit, I ain't shit without her. And then, you know, they always say, remember how they always say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me? Yeah. That's complete utter bullshit. Because the mental game is worse than the fucking physical game.
That's why I don't like bringing them here. You know, you see, this is a bachelor's pad. Because when you lay down, like, you know, if I leave, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have to listen to none of that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, here, like, it's comforting. You know what I'm saying?
But
and,
also,
like,
too,
and in my comfort zone, your words is going to, I'm a understand. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that's why I don't like bringing them here. Because, like, if you make it here, you're, like, kind of important.
No, if you make it here, that means you're that type. You're that person that I could see myself seriously, you know, building something with you.
No, not me.
No?
No.
Oh.
If they make it here, it's like you're not a headache.
That's how you see it.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yo.
God damn. I see that completely different. Like,
it's like you're not a headache. That's, and you know what I mean? And I really, you know, and maybe it's the alcohol talking right now between
no,
us.
the little alcohol make you speak the truth.
You know what I mean? But I feel like if you make it here, you're not a headache. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's the first thing. Like, and this is real shit. You know what I mean? When I talk to a woman, are you a headache? Like, you know, in the beginning, when my first breakup, you know what I mean? I was on relationship mode, so I was like doing relationship shit to women that technically don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that night it was like, oh shit, let me go chill with a couple of my buddies that are single and just have fun. And I feel like I would tell every man to do that. Because now it's time for, you know, because if a woman want to be more than fun, it's time for her to prove more than her worth. You know what I mean? She has to prove her worth. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, even me in my selfish stage right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very selfish right now. You know, I've never been more selfish now than I ever been in my life. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, you know, I tell a woman, like, yo, hey, I'm going to be this nigga 6 months from now. You either going to compliment it or you're not going to be around. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like you know, I said in the last podcast, you know, like, you know, oh shit, I'm climbing this mountain. You know what I mean? I'm like 80% complete, you know what I mean, from this mountain. So I got to look for the next mountain to climb. And, you know, I just don't want to see in so many mountains climb. I just don't want to say choose the wrong mountain to climb. So with that being said, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. There's nothing permanent. You know, the best thing a person can be in this time of my life. You know what I mean. And you know, I feel like I said before, I'm the hardest working man I know.
Oh no, by far I give it to you because you know that was one of the times where me and you had our disagreements, where we had our falling outs because you were working so hard, and you remember I would always tell him like, Frank, stop working so fucking hard. Why are you working so hard? And you told me straight up you had goals and stuff that you needed to accomplish, but it got to the point where you were signed up to work, and I'm short people, and you wasn't coming in. I'm like, Frank, I'm texting like, Frank, where the fuck you at? And you were like, I'm sorry, I couldn't come in. So you would, honestly, I was pissed, but then I thought about it. I saved you from yourself. I was saving you from yourself because you had made me so mad because I let my emotion get into it, but I also, it was both 2 and 2. I let my emotion get the best of it because you pissed me off, but also too, I felt like I needed to save you because as much as I admired your ambition and stuff, you were killing yourself because you were trying to do so much, and I just felt like you were doing so much on your plate because you were working 12 hours and then you would come back in and work. You were supposed to be off the next 2 days or 3 days, and you will work for me the next 3 days. I'm like, how the fuck is he fucking doing this?
Why being a family man? See,
yeah, but that's the thing. You were being a family man too, and you told me we had those conversations. I'm like, Frank, what the fuck?
That's why. That's why I tell people like, yo, listen, like, you know, when I speak on my past relationship, like, yo, you can't talk bad about her because like she dealt with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard. You know, it's just like Tom Brady and Giselle now, and you know they don't split up. And you know, I had mixed emotion because you know I'm a Tom Brady fan, and I felt like
he's going for legacy.
But the thing is, no, I feel like, and people probably gonna get pissed off when they hear this. I felt like Giselle was being selfish because that man was doing something that he loved to do. Like it's hard to break somebody from something who's been doing something for 20 plus years in the same fucking routine. Like, he is one of those persons, just like you work hard. You don't know nothing else but work to support your people, your family, and support yourself and accomplish your goals. And the same thing with Tom Brady, you know, it's just like, he's been doing the game. He wants to be the greatest. In my eyes, he is the greatest, but he has so much work ethic, and it's just like, even after he retired, you know, he has a contract for $60 million to do TV broadcasting. But it's one of those scenarios just like, he didn't know what to do, but then she decides to divorce him during the fucking season, midway through the fucking season. Like, that's enough to fuck with anybody mentally, and did it quick. Like, within 2 weeks, they were divorced. I'm just like, why the fuck would you be as vindictive as that to like to fuck with this man while he's, you know, going through the season and stuff? Like, you couldn't wait till football season was over to go through the fucking divorce and shit. Granted, I know he probably told you, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna retire, this, that, and the other. But women, and I'm gonna say it, then get mad. Women are vindictive as a motherfucker, man. Especially when you piss them off and they don't get shit the way that they want. I've seen it too many times, man. It's just like, I don't care how much sometimes you can do to please women, you can't please them.
Yeah, like you know.
And I won't say that just for some, not all, but you know, you could do everything right to please a woman, but they will always find something that they don't like, that they're unhappy with. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I've done everything. Like, what more do you fucking want?
I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. All right.
And like I said, again, I'm not bashing women because, you know, my girlfriend is great. You know, my sister, all the women that I know in my life, they're great women right now. And don't get me wrong, the deal with me, it takes a hell of a woman, because I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot of shit with me. A lot. And my girlfriend, that's why I say I love that chick to death, because she don't put up with a lot of my motherfucking antics. And I'm like, how the fuck did she do it? But it all comes with we growing with her. Because one of the biggest things, like you, I was selfish. And my girlfriend knew that. And like, one of the things that I had to start doing, I had to start realizing, damn, if I want to be with her, like, I gotta stop doing some of the things that I'm doing, and I got to be more. And it might seem like I'm contradicting myself, but it seems like I have to be more sensible to what she's wanting, what her needs and stuff are. So I had to, like, communication was the big thing with us. Like, I had a hard time communicating. Like, when she wanted to have those tough conversations, I wouldn't do it. Like, I would shut down, or I would say I don't want to talk about it right now, and I would go 2 or 3 days without talking about it, and then come back and talk like nothing ain't never happened. And she was like, how are you gonna act like we just didn't have something going on? So that was one of those scenarios that, I had to learn that if that was gonna work between me and her, I had to break down some of my barriers of selfishness and start being more cognizant to, her needs.
See now my thing was, I felt like I felt like me personally. I felt like, yo, hey, I need one more year. No. You don't get another year. You know what I mean? This year is my last year. You know what I mean? I need one more year. No. I done stuck by this shit. You know what I mean? And it was issue of being fed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think either party realized how much we was important to each other. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to do it again? Absolutely not.
But the way that you speak of your ex, Frank, it seemed like y'all had a lot of good stuff going on. But it seemed like something had to be off for that relationship.
Absolutely,
not to work.
But like in order for me to fix it, I had to give her time, and that's the one thing that I was not able to give. You know what I'm saying? And
because I
have shit to do.
And she, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those scenarios. This is just me, what I'm just trying to depict from what you told me. So basically, you told her what your goals, what your ambitions and stuff were, and she heard you, but at the same time too, she had got to the point that she got fed up because she wanted your time, and you couldn't give her the time because you were trying to do stuff to accomplish the goals. See, that's what I have issues about, because let's just say, for instance, my girlfriend would tell me that how her exes were never supportive of her wanting to go back to school. Whereas me, I know how important education is because it was stressed. My grandma stressed it, and her parents stressed education to her. So I would tell my girlfriend, fuck yeah, if you're going to go back to school, I support you 100%. And she was like, you wouldn't be upset? I'm like, why would I be upset with you trying to better your situation to better us? Yeah. And she appreciated me because she was like, she actually cried. Because she said, no, everybody that I've always talked to have always told me that, why would you go back to school? That's stupid. Why you want to spend more money? To get the way you got to be, sometimes you got to take that step back. And sometimes it takes those sacrifices. And if you know that, okay, in the long run, it's going to be for the greater good. In the short term right now, I have to struggle right now. And if that takes me not spending time with Frank for right now to get the help, to be supportive, my responsibility is to be supportive of Frank. I know we're not spending much time together, but when we do, I'll let him know, even if I send him a text message, to let him know that I'm supportive of him. Like, I feel like that's something, if somebody's really down for you, they'll sacrifice whatever it takes to make sure that you get ahead.
I'm selfish.
Well, okay, with that being said...
But, like, I feel like this. I feel like, yo, hey, let me be selfish. So when I'm ready not to be selfish, you get full love.
But, Frank, in the situation...
See, and let me break that down.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like,
all
okay, right. Let's use... Now, I felt like, you know what I mean? You want to use that scenario when we was working together, when the whole overtime thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She stepped up. I was going. That's why I don't talk bad about her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like she was waiting oh, this is my time. It was a little break. Let me show you, whatever. But like she didn't understand who I was as a person to like, yo, wait, you're only satisfied with this. There's so much more to me than this, but I just need you to bear with me.
Well, okay. With that being said, right?
Mm-hmm.
If about being a relationship is all about getting to know one another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if she didn't know you like that,
Mm-hmm.
then is it safe to say that there really was no relationship if she didn't know you? Because I feel like and don't get me wrong, you just don't know a person overnight. It takes time to know an individual. Because I'm still learning my girlfriend's still learning me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in a relationship, you have to get to those points where you have to learn a person. I feel like, well, this is just me listening to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds to me that your girlfriend didn't know that part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And by her not knowing that part of you, she didn't know how to take it. Because if she knew that part of you prior, I felt like she would probably be more understanding to why you are the way you are and how you function the way that you do. And then if she didn't agree with it, then that was means for a conversation.
It was more, and I would never admit this. It was more my fault. You know what I mean? Because like I'm trained to take care of everything. So I never learned how to like coexist. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I agree 100% because that was one of the hardest transitions with being in a relationship for me, especially with my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to doing everything by myself for myself, and then having to bring in another person into my world like that I had to break down serious barriers for that.
Like yeah, even when it came to get in the house, you know what I mean? And like you took the tour and everything, and it was like my idea. I didn't let her express her idea. You know what I'm saying? And
So you didn't let her have no say.
no, not at all.
What
Until I learned to relax. You know what I mean? And I didn't like being relaxing because I wasn't where I wanted to be in life. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not necessarily a bad thing though, because if you get comfortable and you get complacent, that's when you miss out on shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, yo, hey, I am in my head. I'm a conqueror. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, let me be the savage that I am. You know what I mean? I promise when I come
You
home.
mean the savage as its the savage in terms of doing what you got to do to get the way you want to be in those terms.
Exactly.
But did you constantly communicate that to her?
I'm not a man of communication.
But Frank, you're never gonna.
That's
have,
right.
You're never gonna have a meaningful relationship if you don't.
I was. I don't want to say it because I'm drinking, but like I felt like what I mean. Like I said, I really don't got too much bad things to say about it. You know what I mean?
I mean that says a lot right there. You have nothing bad to say about it.
Not at all. You know what I mean? And it's like but I understood like and I don't want the next girl to think like, oh man, well hey, whatever. It's like it's a process. You know what I'm saying? And the process I was at, you know what I mean, as far as like this house been redecorated 8 times. Like this. Redecorated 8 times. If you would have came in like the first time I told you to come in, you would be like, yo, okay, it's a nice house. And then you come in now and you be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? You would have came in every time I redecorated this motherfucking house to get my personality right. You know what I mean? I feel like, and when a person is growing, you know what I mean? I feel like you have to like say to yourself as a person, whether it's the man or the woman, like how can I compliment this instead of like how can I express my thought, because it's not about your thought. You know what I mean? Let's be real. You know what I mean? It's I hate to say it. You know what I mean? And I tell people now like, yo, I care about the vibe more than I care about the person. And until I'm ready to care about people, I don't want a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like to actually like, yo, when you come over here, don't come to me with your baby daddy issues, I can't afford this issue. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why it all goes back to communicating. Like, if you don't want that and you want to be selfish, you got to let them know from the gate what it is. Like, let them know. Don't come to me with your problems. I'm just here to have a good time. You know.
I do that. I do that. I'm like happy in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I do that. You know what I'm saying? 100% I do that, and and I tell people, sometimes I use past experience, past traumas to like justify my actions and shit like that. But really, I'm just 100% selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you talk about past experiences, like, do you let those past experiences like dictate how you are? Like, do you let your past experiences affect you?
Absolutely.
Do you think that that's fair though?
Absolutely.
How so?
Because let's just say you met a girl, right? And she always went out to the club, and she cheated on you, and you broke up with her, and you meet a new girl, and she's a dope vibe, and she's like, I go out a lot, I do me, and you'd be like, okay. Now in your head, you're not gonna treasure her as much as she wants to be treasured. Because let's be honest, every girl wants to be the man's greatest gift. You know what I mean? But you're gonna look at her like, okay, well, I'm just enjoying our time together. You know what I'm saying? And am I wrong? Because one thing I hate is like, we give people titles that they don't understand and whatever. Like, understand the person you're dealing with before you try to like do you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that person is more important than just doing you. You know what I'm saying? And in doing you, you're gonna lose so much because this person might have more to offer than you just doing you. By you doing you.
But okay, my question is then, right?
Mm-hmm.
What let's just say with that scenario, with that girl you were just telling about, the one that goes out and whatnot. What was the result like? What were you looking for that? Like, were you looking for something more, or were you looking for just someone to chill with? Because the saying is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Because a light would have went off with me. Let's just say you were talking about the girl prior that like to go out and go do the clubbing thing or whatnot, right? The minute that, and this is the older me now. This ain't the younger one, because the younger me would have kept on doing it. But the older me was a red light would have, two flags would have instantly went out if a person said, especially if I'm knowing what I'm looking for. A red light would have went off to me and said, okay, this chick likes to go out all the time and shit. My last relationship, they did the same shit. So this is something that I don't want to fucking deal with. So the older version of me would have been like, okay, I'm going to let this fucking go. But the younger version of me would be like, okay, if this is someone that I just, just looking to kick it and chill with, do whatever, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Let's take a break.
All right.
And we get back to that.
Okay.
We want to start off with that.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right.
Yeah.